Ah, It's Friday, June 27, 2025. Thanks for tuning in today. I want to get right into what's happening. We got a lot to talk about. Core inflation rate rose to 2.7% in May, more than expected. Fed's preferred gauge shows. This from CNBC today. Now, with this news, markets up today. S&P all-time high, Dow Jones up 432, Nasdaq up 105, gold down $50, silver down 74 cents. A big pullback today, probably a good day if you want to add to your portfolio. If you don't have some of this stuff and you're waiting for a good time to buy, a nice pullback today. Buy the dip, ladies and gentlemen. If you need help with that, go to my link down below, SD Bullion. Now, core inflation, this excludes food and energy, and it continues to rise. And the market just ignores this. And we know these numbers are completely manipulated, completely diluted. We know it's much, much worse than that. It's interesting because somebody commented yesterday saying that the economy's great because the stock market's doing incredible. I'm just putting all this fear mongering out there. Now, I got to ask all of you, markets up today, has it helped you one bit? Has it helped you buy a home? Has it pushed prices at the grocery store down? Has it pushed your utility prices down? Has it pushed your health insurance down? Most people are not in the stock market. And, you know, people make these ignorant statements that the economy is doing well because the stock market's doing well. Is your economy at home doing well? Even though the stock market, S&P at all-time highs, the markets are booming. There's no doubt about it. And there are people, no doubt, making money. But is it helping you? Is it helping your day-to-day struggle? Is it increasing your paycheck? Is it pushing costs down when you go to the store? More than likely, it is not. I don't know why people think this is fear-mongering. We're just talking reality. And I guess people just don't want to accept the truth that the stock market, that Wall Street and Main Street are completely detached. The stock market really has nothing to do with the real economy. And I wish people would figure this out instead of this ignorant thinking that everything's okay because a manipulated market is up. Let me know your thoughts on that. Is this fear mongering? Are things better than I think they are? I don't think things are very good. In fact, I think this is a bad economy getting much, much worse. Market watch today. Inflation creeps higher in May and dims chance of Fed cutting interest rates soon. I'm going to ask all of you, comment down below. Are we going to see a rate cut in July? And if we are, is it going to be more than a quarter basis point? I don't think we're going to see a rate cut in July. I just don't think they're going to be able to do it. Inflation is not going away. Here's one from the Hedge today. Loonie tumbles as president suddenly terminates all trade talks with Canada. The loonie being the Canadian dollar. By the way, one Canadian dollar equals 73 cents in US money. So they are getting absolutely obliterated. So why are we cutting talks? Well, as most of you know, Canada has a 400% tariff on our farmers and our dairy farmers. And now they're adding a digital tax on American tech companies. I think that's about 3%. So I guess Canada is going to F around and find out. I like this attitude from the administration. You might not like it. You might like it. I think it's good. We're going to see what the new Canadian tariffs are in 7 days if things don't change from now till then. But I think they are going to F around and find out. And why do they have a 400% tariff on our farmers and dairy farmers? I don't understand that. And why this tax, this digital tax on American tech companies? Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, I guess. And they're going to find out in 7 days the new tariff on Canada. 6 million student loan borrowers on track to have wages garnished. Do you know anybody in this situation? Right now it's 2. It's going to be 6 million very, very soon. And this is all happening while jobs are getting more and more difficult to find. The economy is a train wreck. And you have AI coming in, already replacing jobs right now. The amount of jobs in the next 5 years that AI replaces is going to be in the millions. It's going to be astronomical. While people are sitting on $80,000, $100,000 in student loan debt with a worthless degree, many people are going to be working in this gig economy for a long time until AI replaces those jobs. They're going to be making coffees for a long time. They're going to be working in fast food restaurants for a long time. Some people just, I don't think, realize the severity of what is about to happen to them. 15%, if they have a paycheck right now, 15% of their paycheck is going to be garnished automatically. Every paycheck, 15% gone. And that money will not be going into the economy. People that are trying to pay this debt back, they're not putting it back into the economy. They're having to pay this debt back. And now these people that aren't paying it will be garnished. So their day-to-day life is going to become a real struggle. So, you know, many of these people will probably just go, well, I'm just going to use credit cards. I'll use my buy now, pay laters, and then I just won't pay those back. These credit cards are going to sue your ass off if you do not pay them back. I'm watching a lot of news, I'm reading a lot of articles, I'm watching a lot of reaction videos. These credit card companies are not playing around. They are going to sue your ass off. And so you're going to have the US government coming after you, garnishing your wages. Credit card companies going to come after you. They're going to sue you. So we're going to see people in a real predicament here, a financial predicament. They waited years and years hoping that the taxpayer was going to pay their bills, bail them out. Didn't happen. Their credit card debt is skyrocketing at 24, 25, 30%. And they're going to just be economically assaulted at all angles here. So another reason, ladies and gentlemen, stay the heck out of debt. If you're going to college, make sure that you're getting a degree in something that actually pays. And a lot of people, I think, went there thinking that they're going to have a good time. Maybe they'll get a job, and maybe the taxpayer will pay their debt, and they can continue to work at Starbucks. They are in for a rude awakening. Comment down below on any of this. Do you think you should have been on the hook to pay their debt? I don't, and I'm glad we're not. Pay your own debts. You sign at the dotted line. You obligate yourself. You pay your own debt. Don't expect anybody else to pay for it, especially a taxpayer. Wolfstreet.com. Inventory of new single-family homes for sale, highest since 2007 amid record pileup in the South as sales drop. Home builders face a tough market. We've been talking about this for days. Lennar's average sales price drops to lowest since the second quarter of 2020, gives up entire 2020 to 2022 price explosion. Homeowners wanting to sell have no idea what they're up against. The average home seller, not new home builder, new home seller, existing home seller has no idea what they're doing, because what the builders right now are cutting deals. They're cutting prices, and they're throwing in massive incentives like, oh, you want granite countertops, you want the travertine floors, oh, we'll buy the mortgage down for 3 years. You name it, they're doing it. While the existing homeowner who is trying to sell their home still thinks that they're going to get the 2021-22 price. Not going to happen. And as you wait longer and longer, you're going to continue to chase this market down. And 6 months from now, 3 months from now, a year from now, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. New home inventory is up 29% year over year. You can buy a new home cheaper than an existing home at this point. New home inventory is up 49% from May of 2019. I hope home sellers wake up, because if they don't, they're going to lose a lot of money, because this market is on its way down. Here's one from CNBC. Deep inside U.S. economy, more sticker prices start going up due to tariffs, and inventory is headed down. Right now, inventory is being reticketed with higher prices between 8 to 15%. It's going to be another blow to the U.S. consumer. 8 to 15%. So what you're going to be seeing in the coming months is when you go into a Walmart, a Target, a Kohl's, 8 to 15%. How much more can the consumer afford? Because I think the consumer is extremely tapped out at this point. And if it wasn't for credit cards, if it wasn't for buy now, pay laters, if it wasn't for people pulling money out of their homes, the average person would be in enormous trouble right now. But they're getting themselves into trouble with credit cards, buy now, pay laters, using their homes as ATMs. They are continuing to get themselves into trouble. Now, a little bit of good news today. We'll switch gears here a little bit. General Electric Appliances to invest $490 million in Louisville, Kentucky factory. So they're going to bring back manufacturing from China to Louisville, Kentucky. Now, I don't know exactly when this is going to happen, but look, we got to give credit where credit is due. This is very, very good news, and we need to see more corporations, more companies doing this. Now, this could take years, obviously, to build a factory of this size, and the question is, how much longer can we afford to stay afloat, the average consumer, without good jobs, with all this inflation, with the tariffs, with the prices of everything continuing to stay up or go up? So I don't know how long it's going to take to build this out. Hopefully not that long, but I would say it's going to take at least a few years, right? At least. So what do people do in the meantime? We need something. We need tax cuts right now. We need spending to stop. Government spending has got to stop. We need a massive tax cut. We need to be helping our small businesses here. We need to be avoiding wars. We need to avoid all of this spending. U.S. used up 15 to 20% of its global THAAD anti-missile arsenal in just 11 days. With that battle with Iran. This cost over $800 million, so almost $1 billion. Let's also remember our strategic petroleum reserves were depleted over the last 4 years. It's going to cost a fortune to fill those back up. So our petroleum reserves are depleted. We use 15 to 20% of our THAAD anti-missile arsenal. We've used up the majority of our drones between Eastern Europe and the Middle East, and we are stretched extremely thin. And we're continuing to spend money. Now, look, you may be for this or against it, but at the end of the day, we have got to cut this stuff out. The spending has got to stop. We cannot afford wars in the Middle East or wars in Eastern Europe. We have literally an economic war going on right here in America with our infrastructure, our school system, our healthcare system, Social Security, etc. And we need to be very aggressive and attack these problems right now here in America. Another one here today. Why your Social Security check could shrink by nearly 20% and more if jobs are scarce? Because fewer people are working. There's fewer jobs. AI is going to replace a lot more jobs. The economy is shrinking. The job market is shrinking. And if you don't have people working, if we don't have people in this economy working, and the job market isn't growing, if small businesses aren't growing, if we're not bringing jobs back from China and putting them right here, these factories, and growing jobs, who's going to pay Social Security? Who's going to pay into it for the people who are retiring and are going to need it in a couple years? So we got big trouble. So instead of worrying about everybody else around the world, we better start worrying about the U.S. citizen slash consumer slash retiree. I'm going to leave it there today. One last thing I do want to say before I go is we have some sort of trade agreement with China. First off, I will say this. I don't trust China as far as I can throw them. This is an agreement on rare earths. China controls 90% of rare earth minerals. And so I don't know exactly what the agreement was, but we're working something out with China that we have those rare earths for our military equipment, cars, computers, electronics, all that. But I don't trust China. Comment down below, do you trust China? At the end of the day, China is definitely got a lot of power and a lot of leverage at this point. So we have to be very, very careful with them. But I'm glad that we are trying to do something about these trade deficits, about just the unfairness with trade that's going on. And China's going to have to be dealt with at some point. The question is, do we have any leverage to use against China at this point? Again, I don't know what the details are with this agreement, but China's making up a lot of the rules without a doubt. But I'm going to leave it there today. Comment down below on any of this stuff or anything you want to add to it. Have a very, very good weekend out there. Be safe. Look, we have this ceasefire. Things have seemed to de-escalate. but you just never know what could pop off in a moment's notice. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Be walking close to God. As usual, I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you. Take care.